Well, at least this time I caught the moment where my microphone was completely muted, so won't have any of those shenanigans happening again. But hello, and welcome to Donington, our third race of the season right now, so completely bang in the middle. It is obviously going into this race we have two people leading the championship, for the pros at least. We have sorry, my mind completely fading away. It is Abe Santama and Vasily Blinov both leading the championship. Vasily Blinov not available today. He's participating in a endurance race, but everybody else starting to join back. Oh, let me just get this Assetto Corsa TV stuff up. We have 14 people out on the track, or 15 people out on track right now, pardon me. A bit less than it was last time out. Last time in Monza it was 27 people. Now it is 15, so a slight little drop off from the inevitable endurance, the endurance kind of week. It is obviously the 24-hour of Kyalami today, and the 6-hour of Monza, both getting a pretty substantial amount of people. So we can always blame it on that, the reason why we don't have so many people. And you might hear me cough a couple of times today, since I do have a bit of a cold, but still enjoying broadcasting on a weekly basis. Can't really replace anything with that. But here is Luke Mason, the man who is supposed to have the massive increase in grip, British driver, in a Aston Martin, so a British combo on a British track, in a British car, so has to be top of the split today, or he won't be deemed a genuine English person, as Abe Santama sets the fastest lap time of a 1:36.0. That is a very good performance by him. Let us just turn on the personal bests. And if you cut back to last week, we actually had 15 people join the Assetto Corsa race, and we still had an unimaginable amount of carnage and action out on track. So for all I know, there might be a spectacular amount of stuff. Won't be joining you guys tonight, just on a 12-hour of Spa, and I'm dead tired. You see, it is so many people doing random endurance races today, so, well, not just today, but also this week, so definitely not in the mood for some league racing, and I can fully understand that, as we are going to be doing some of our own endurance races a couple of weeks from now. But next week we are going to have a proper transit race at the Seattle Street Circuit, and then the week after that, I haven't yet announced it fully, but we'll have a reverse grid race at Silverstone, so stay tuned for that. There will be a good little announcement coming around sooner than later. As we look at Subham Chowdhury, he's third on the grid right now. He's a great driver in terms of hot laps, but we still yet to see a decent performance by him in the race. He is currently 13th in the standings, but I feel like he can go way higher than that. Also, next race, the next GT3 season race, will be not commentated by me. It will be commentated by our fellow friend in Lithuania. So we won't hear from me until Sunday. So it'll just be one day without commentating, as I'll be off to Belgium. Just under 3 minutes to go now of this practice session. Not a lot of action, obviously. We wouldn't expect much action from a practice session at all. And let me just check that I have done this whole entire thing correctly. If we return to garage, you see, yes, the race will be for 1 hour, qualifying for 20 minutes, and it is super wet. But that does not mean, as Reginald Durka goes way off in the background, that does not mean that we might have a wet race, as the practice is usually held on a Saturday, whereas the qualifying and the race are on a Sunday in game time. I really need to get like a mute button, because this is going to get like really, really annoying for most people watching. Right, let's see who's not joining. So it is Matas not joining. He is too busy fixing his broken car. Looks like Butler's not joining. Swielson, is he on the track? Yes, he is. Hiddo Tobbing, he's not on the track. That is unfortunate. Blinov, who is our main rival to Abe Santama, also not on the track right now. So Abe will be let off quite easily on this race, as he is over 6/10 quicker than Hamdan Putra in this practice session. Which is completely and utterly bonkers. Right, Josh Buckwater, come on, what can he do? He is a American driver driving the British car. The Aston Martin still hasn't set a valid lap. Well, still hasn't set a proper valid lap. As Sabam Chowdhury just finishes off his practice session in the pits, so does Hamdan Putra. Felix Paland, he is going a bit quicker. Abe Santama, he has spun off, so he won't be going quicker this time out. Luke Mason, he is just about improving on this lap, as practice is now officially over. Luke Mason nearly 2 seconds slower than Abe Santama, as we see Ring Hoekstra just on the side off the road. And I think that might be an invalid lap now. Yes, sadly it is, so he won't be proving anybody what he's got. But we can still see what his provisional lap would be. He's currently going 2/10 quicker, and it actually just went completely off. So he won't be finishing his lap. And is it still raining? It is still raining for the qualifying session. I don't think anybody has actually expected. Do we see any reactions from the people in the chat? No, we don't. Alright, nobody is too excited for it, at least in the in-game chat. I guess most people have actually kind of trained for rain. But it is very unfortunate, actually, that there's rain. I didn't think that there was going to be any. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, Mark Stux, absolutely. Now we'll see how many people actually finish the race. As people now scramble out of the pit boxes. One of them being Andre Lloyd, just letting Hampton Putra by, feeling that he's a bit slower than them. But who is first out on track? It is obviously Abe Santiment, look at that. Abe is going to be the first person to be setting a lap, or to be finishing his outlap. I actually like the rain, says Camille, so... Well, hopefully he proves himself. Proves his statements. And goes quicker than the rest in the rain. As Abe now comes across the line to start his flying lap. Or at least an attempt at a flying lap. And we can actually go on his onboard. See how treacherous it is. It's not that bad, but definitely is not too pleasant to be driving. This is giving kind of a flashback to the Season 3 Donington race, the one which I won against the one of the better drivers of LFM. A man that can do 25 threes on this track. Completely thrashed by a average 16-year-old in an Aston Martin. So obviously I have all of the bragging rights when it comes down to this track. It's kind of like Nico Rosberg whenever he comes onto the radio. He can just chat the absolute crap out of people. So that is me for today. I'm going to be the Nico Rosberg, as Abe just wrestling his car, not really able to gain too much grip out of these couple of corners, and now just muscling his way around the final hairpins. Now this one is pretty crucial, because if you get it wrong, then well, your next lap is spoiled as well. But no, Abe gets it quite nicely, not too much oversteer. And what is this lap going to be? It is going to be a 1:39.6, which is currently the fastest one on the grid. We got Ring Hoekstra now coming across the line as well. He's going to set a 1:43.1. Then it is going to be Izzet Samil Dunn. He sets a 1:43.8. Then it is going to be Peter Kremers. He's going to come across the line in his nice BMW. He's going to set a 1:41.7. Then it is going to be Josh Buckwater in the Aston Martin. What has he got for this qualifying session? It looks like it's going to be a pretty good lap, actually. It is going to be a 1:41.1. Then it is Subham Chowdhury. He sets a 1:41.2. Next person out going to be Patrick Slowick. And it is going to be an invalid lap, so we're not going to count that at all. Then it is Royce Wilson with an out lap. Then it is Reginald Duiker, who's going to set a proper lap, as they're going to come across the line. And this lap is going to be around the 140s as well. There's going to be a 142.0, my bad. Then Luke Mason is an invalid lap. So not going to be anything coming out of that one, but it would be a 140.9. Then it is going to be Mock Stocks with an invalid lap, so not going to be seeing any of that. Abe Santama already completed his second lap, and he's 2/10 quicker this lap. He's going to do a 39.4. Andre Lloyd now to set a lap. It was a 2:32.6, but I feel like that was possibly invalid. Ring Hoekstra still up there. Yeah, Reginald Doinker sets a flying lap. So does... Oh no, someone Chattery already set one. Royce Wilson, it is a valid lap for him. Is it Samuel Dunn also valid? Both doing 43s. And Abe Santama kind of getting held behind Mark Stux, but not for long, as he's probably gonna back off this lap and try and give as much space as he can. No, he doesn't actually. Luke Mason, now he says the fastest lap time, 39.3. And there we go. I think Abe actually listened to my advice and now backing off the lap, trying to get some heat into those tires. And now coming to set another valid lap. Well, coming to begin his valid lap. God. Cannot speak for days today. Should we turn this thing on? This thing. It's a bit janky, this thing. Nah, we're not gonna turn it on. I feel like it's a bit of a waste of space. So it can just stay in the reserves. Jeez. Right. Mason, is he going to be improving? Abe, are they going to improve in order to try and get a faster lap? I think Abe is actually currently doing 2/10 quicker on this lap. So we'll see him go across the line to go quicker than Luke Mason, who is not improving on this lap. And Abe, he's going 4/10 quicker on this lap already. And we might see the first people go into the 1:38. Yes, Abe Santama going 6/10 quicker already on this lap. Just as he comes across the line after this hairpin. And it's going to be a 1:39.0, but Luke Mason already starting his valid lap. He's going 4/10 quicker in the first sector. 5/10. Abe able to manage that. Able to match that, I mean. And he's going 6/10 quicker in the first sector as well. Well, it's kind of like a bit of a battle between the AMRs. Not really anybody else involved in this scrap for first. Abe is already 8/10 quicker. Meanwhile, Luke is kind of dropped off on his pace. Abe now a whole second quicker on this lap. Luke is gonna have the provisional pole for about half a lap or half a minute. before Abe comes to ruin it. But Luke Mason, again, he was going purple and then trades it off to Abe and trades it off to Luke Mason and then back to Abe, who's now setting a lap 9/10 quicker, 1 second quicker. Luke Mason, he messed up his final sector, and that is going to be a 1:38.5. But behind him, the Angry Dutch, he's going to be setting a marvelous lap. Might even get into the 1:37s if he improves on his final hairpin, and he does. 1.2 seconds quicker already. And that is a 1:37.8. Nearly a second quicker than Luke Mason in second. And that is the power of track evolution. Absolutely wonderful stuff. As Luke Mason, again, he's not able to match these lap times as Abe is still improving every lap in and out. But we are forgetting the battles behind us because we got Peter Kremers, who has just been beaten by... Oh, sorry. Oh, Peter was actually third just a couple of laps ago. Now it is Hamdan Putra who takes that place in front of Josh Buckwater and Subham Chowdhury. Kamil Taha actually, for some reason, in the pits for this whole entire qualifying session so far. Not doing any laps. Waiting, I guess, until the right moment. Subham Chowdhury improving by 1.2 seconds on this lap already. And that would propel him pretty high up into possibly even second place if Luke Mason does not improve. Right. Peter Kremers. Just been overtaken by a lot of people in this qualifying session so far. 1.2 seconds quicker already. Does he invalidate this corner? No, he doesn't. But he does go a bit slower in turn. Now, if he does finish this lap, this will be pushing himself up into 6th place, I think. As Andre Lloyd, is it Samil Dunn and Royce Wilson as well, all pushing for great lap times. Andre Lloyd actually behind Peter Kremers right there. Peter Kremers, he's going to come across the line. 0.9 seconds of improvement, puts himself into 6th place. Royce Wilson and Andre Lloyd going to come across the line. Andre Lloyd, 0.7 seconds improvement. Oh, not enough to get himself up the grid. Royce Wilson, this will get him up the grid. He might put himself into 8th or 7th. But sadly, completely destroying that delta and going just ahead of us, it's Samil Dunn. Now Patrick Slowick, 0.8 seconds improvement. And this will put him pretty high up the grid, as I say for every single driver so far. And it does. That puts him 6th on the grid. Rishanel Doika, 1.1 seconds up. Blisteringly quick. Will put himself into 7th place, just ahead of Peter Kremers if he finishes this lap. And did he invalidate that corner? No, he didn't, but he did lose time. So that is a pretty common theme for the drivers. As Abe Santimus, that's another fastest lap of this qualifying session, 1:36.9. And he's going purple right now as well. As Rishanel Doika comes across the line, and it is going to be a 39.0. Pushes himself into 8th place. Ring Hoekstra 1.4 seconds up on this lap already, and he's only in the 2nd sector. If he finishes this lap, this will be pretty good. .8 second improvement. Didn't invalidate the chicane this time out. 1.8 seconds improvement still. Can he find any time in these hairpins? Sadly, all he can find is no time. He cannot find any time, but in the final one, he goes straight into the gravel. Now, I'm not sure if Rink is allowed to do that, but Abe Santimus, that's another fastest lap time of this qualifying session. But from what I saw, Rink did use the runoff area in order to improve his lap. I'm not sure if it was on purpose. It's definitely close to purpose. Emperor Pegasus or Someone Chowdhury saying that he's got no grip on the track at all. And, I mean, he wouldn't be lying. We saw Ring Hoekstra flying off into the gravel trap earlier on. As Andre Lloyd, I think he just set a 1:39.0, puts himself into 10th place. And I think that's actually going to be qualifying, yeah, just about to come to an end. And we can have a look at what the conditions are going to be. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be raining in the next 30 minutes, which is when the race is going to be. So we might see a rainy start for the second time running. So first time in Monza we had a damp start. Then it went on to completely flood the track as Abe sets another fastest lap time of the qualifying session. Can he stop improving? This little man, I'm not sure if calling him little is a good idea, but this Dutchman is absolutely flying. The Flying Dutchman today lives up to that name. And I don't think Luke Mason's going to be improving on his lap. He is, but it's not going to be enough to get ahead of Abe Santama, as he would need to improve by over, let me do the maths here, by over 8 tenths. And currently he's going 4 tenths quicker, so it's going to put himself quite close to Abe, but not close enough to get the pole position. So Abe can start celebrating his pole position as Luke Mason just misses out on that by over 5 tenths. How many AM drivers in this? I don't recognize any. Let me see. I think there might be one or two drivers in the AM split today. A lot of them actually going off to the insurance races. So that might be the reason why, but everybody else trying to fight for the championship. Right, so that is your grid for today. Abe Santama, he takes pole position. As, oh god, that is the worst bloody... What is this? Alright. That is Abe Santama, who takes pole position in front of Luke Mason and Josh Buckwater, who is in third. Hampton Putra, he's in 4th place. Last time out, he was not able to finish the race due to some internet problems. Sobham Chowdhury in 5th. Good running from him. Original Duiker in 6th. Then comes Felix Palin in 7th. Patrick Slowick in 8th. Issa Samil Dunn in 9th. Peter Kremer's having a bit of a lowly qualifying in 10th, so I think his last lap might have been compromised. Andre Lloyd in 11th, Royce Wilson 12th, just ahead of Rink Hoekstra, and Mox Ducks in 14th. Last person to set a valid lap, and Camille Taha, for whatever reason, not going out onto the track in the qualifying session at all. Wanting to avoid the chaos, so last it is for me, says Camille Taha. So got confirmation that it was strategic to not come out onto the track in qualifying and set a valid lap. So that is everybody in the pits, everybody waiting nice and patiently. So we can start to hear from you about what predictions you might have for this race. Now I've definitely got mine. I think for me, my predictions definitely have to be without... Oh my god, it is raining. It is pouring. It is absolutely flooded. And it is only going to get stronger. Well, a race of excitement, I'd say. It is absolutely treacherous out there. There is no grip, I'd say. No grip at all. And it's not going to get drier. It is only going to get worse. So, drivers today will face one of the worst challenges. As it is completely flooded. But Never mind that, we can do our very wet track walk, and a very short track walk at that. Abe Santama, he is our new pole sitter on Donington. He's going to be hoping to convert that into a win today and take the official lead of the championship. And next to him is Luke Mason, who's currently sitting pretty low in the championship, but he's got all of the potential to put himself higher up. Then there's Josh Buckwater in third. Hampton Putra, he's had a DNF last time out. He's now in fourth. Then there's Subban Chowdhury in fifth. He had a pretty okay race last time out. And then there's Rishanel Doiker in sixth. Felix Palant in seventh. Patrick Slowick saying that he's not going to finish the race today. He's in eighth. Is it Samil Dunn in ninth? We haven't actually seen much of him at all. Then it is Peter Kremers in 10th. He had a pretty good race last time out. It finished in second. Andre Lloyd, he's starting 11th. Didn't have the best of the races last time out. Royce Wilson in 12th. Then comes Ring Hoekstra. Then Mock Stux. And then last person on the grid is Camille Taha, who says that he wants to avoid all of the carnage, hence starting last. And I think there's going to be quite a bit of carnage. Not as many people out on track. So we might not see such a crazy first lap shootout. And maybe we can actually get a bit of a sense for how people are feeling. No, we can't. Nobody is texting in chat, so nobody is overly too surprised with the rain. And all I can say is that this is going to be a wonderful race. I really hope that most people finish, because there are a ton of points up for grabs in today's Donington race. Wish everyone best of luck. Yeah, absolutely. Most people are going to need it, as it is just 30 seconds until they start their formation lap. And look at that, you can't see anything. There's absolutely no visibility. And I think, yeah, standing absolutely still in that car, won't be able to see much. But can we have a look at, there we go. This is the visibility from a car starting 5th on the grid, as we are just going to get underway for the formation lap soon, I hope. And there we go. Cars are now starting to touch, and you can see, well, you can't see, because Subban Chowdhury, completely lacking visibility in this BMW, and behind him it's even worse. The spray multiplying as it gets further and further back. You see Peter Kremers not seeing anything, and I think this is Camille Taha. No, Camille Taha is right at the back. There you go. This is Camille Taha's view, or their lack of view. Absolutely zero indication, zero help from those lights. I think we'll see a lot of people crashing just because they can't see the back of other people. And yeah, we can actually put into chat, please don't forget to use your brakes today, even if you can't see the person in front. People saying, good luck, have a good swim, and don't forget your snorkel. And I mean, Josh Buckwater isn't too much, he's not too wrong, as Ring Hoekstra, he's off the track. What's happening there? Usually that is Matas, but Matas obviously not here tonight with us. Right. It is going to be Ape Santima's lead from the race. But I think it more concerns us with how these guys are going to be doing towards the midfield. Midfield is going to be absolutely packed with lag, because look at the amount of spray. My computer is not handling this. I don't think anybody else is. I think I saw some people spinning. Not sure. Oh no, they're just going double file. Making me absolutely worried. Right, maybe Helicam is going to work. No, this is awful. Right. Have a nice sip of water, as we're going to be speaking for over 10 minutes straight. And my vocal cords are not too happy with that. Right. It is the third race of the season. Halfway through the season, it is going to be green lights on any time now, and they are off. Abe Santima, he leads the way, had a very good start. I think that's Josh Buckwater, who's actually just got in front. No, he didn't, and there is some people already touching towards the back. Reginald Durka and Hamden Putra coming together in the first corner. And, oh no, it is all kicking off towards the back. Patrick Slowick, he had a moment with Peter Kremers completely sideswiping him. Peter Kremers now completely at the back, and oh my god, people are pushing way too hard on this opening lap. Oh no, 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 people, please. Remember to use your brakes, is all I can say, but Subham Chowdhury having a bit of an off moment, now getting caught up by, is it Samuel Dunn and Felix Paland? And yeah, it's not the best start to this race for most people. Completely crawling, as Subham Chowdhury is struggling to find any sort of pace in that car, trying to defend from, is it Samuel Dunn, from behind. And Josh Buckwater now, he's actually very close to the back of Luke Mason. Where is he? There he is. And now he's actually falling back just as I say that. Right. Is it Samuel Dunn? He was very close to Subham Chowdhury last time out. Or last couple of sectors behind. And still very close, as they're going to come into the hairpin. This is where most crashes happen, and this time it happened as well. Is it Samuel Dunn completely sending it down the inside of Subham Chowdhury, who's now spun. Very weird spin. It was kind of mid-corner, so not sure what happened there. Now Subham Chowdhury falling down to 8th place, given the position to Hamden Putra and Patrick Slowick, as they're all coming off the track, and Patrick Slowick also coming off the track as well, as Josh Buckwater sets the fastest lap time of this race. And Patrick Slowick, he's going to try and go for a move around the outside of turn 1. And I don't think he's got enough grip in that car in order to do anything. So it is just going to be pretty much a race of survival, as they try to muscle their way around. Look at that. Somebody in front going completely off the track. That's Andre Lloyd and Hamden Putra. Now it is going to be a three-way battle for 6th place. And Subham Chowdhury is actually right in the middle of that battle. He has to both attack and defend. It seems like he's got a bit of damage on that car, since he's not able to attack the Porsche of Hamden Putra. And he's not able to defend from the back of Patrick Slowick. Patrick Slowick, he's going to get a better exit out of that corner. And I think Subham Chowdhury is just able to cover off the inside line into this chicane. Hopefully Patrick Slowick able to slow down enough. Yes, he does. Andre Lloyd, he's cutting the track in the back. And now, ooh, Hamden Putra, he's had an off moment, and that gave the position to Subham Chowdhury, as he was just coming into the hairpin. Patrick Slowick just ever so close. And Abe Santima setting the new fastest lap time of this race. He's over 2 seconds quicker this lap already. Or sorry, 2 seconds ahead of Luke Mason this lap already. And oh, Patrick Slowick fancying a bit of a meeting with Barry as he DNFs from this race. It looks like some sort of connection error as he is floating in midair. And now, yes, now he's completely DNFing from today's race. Unlucky for him, or maybe lucky, because he's not going to be involved in any sort of action. Royce Wilson, he's close to Mockstocks, but not close enough, as actually he's out of frame and letting the position to Peter Kremers. Who's now Peter Kremers? Oh, he's off the track. And no, he's able to carry on. Just about. Even though he was going to get sucked into that grass. I think that's Camille Taha also just overtaken Royce Wilson for 12th place. And Camille Taha now having an off moment, giving the position back to Royce Wilson. Now this is going to be a pretty close battle between the two of them. Camille Taha obviously thinking that he is one of the better drivers in the rain. Started from the back, making 2 places up so far. Ring Hoekstra, yellow flags for them. And Abe Santama, ooh, there is Ring Hoekstra. Very close to an unsafe rejoin, but was not one today. Mockstocks and Peter Kremers in the front, just having a bit of a battle. Peter Kremers just coming up in front of that, but Mockstocks not wanting to give the position away too easily. He's going to get a better exit out of this corner, won't he? No, he doesn't. Camille Taha in the back. Oh, he's just trying to get some sort of a better run on Royce Wilson, and I think he does. Trying to go around the outside of turn 1. Not going to be able to do that this time out. Hoping to get the old switcheroo done on the BMW. BMW having better traction. Ooh. Peter Kremers, he's had a worse exit out of that corner, giving the position away to Royce Wilson and Mockstocks. Camille Taha nearly going for a move on this little kink downhill. And Patrick Slowick just confirming that he is PC blue screened just as he was overtaken Subham. So unlucky for them. There is also somebody else DNFing from this race right now. Interesting. Who was it? No clue, but now we have 13 drivers on the grid. Actually, I can probably look back. No, I can't look back. Okay, whatever. Camille Taha, no, he's now on a bit of a charge. He already overtook Royce Wilson, and now he's off the track. Completely off the track, and actually off the frame. There he is. Doing a nice, safe rejoin back onto the wet, flooded track. And we could just have a look if it's going to get any worse or less. No, it doesn't, and it's not going to stop raining either. Peter Kremers, now he's very close to the back of Mockstocks. Now I have to give all of the credit to Mockstocks as he goes off the track, so I was speaking way too early. But anyway, Mockstocks having a absolutely amazing race. He is sitting in 10th in a controller. Sorry, using a controller in a Porsche. So beautiful stuff by him. But anyhow, Peter Kremers able to make that overtake stick as Mark Stux just went off the track. Not able to control his car too well. Felix Payland. He is just under a second away from his teammate, Andre Lloyd, who's actually went off and grabbed a board inside of the rear of the car. He's just dragging it along. Look at him. But that is Felix Payland now ahead of Andre Lloyd. And Andre Lloyd continuing with the little board inside of the back of the car as, yes, now it finally wedges out. And Rink Hoekstra having a yellow flag moment. And there he is again spinning. And there he is again spinning. Trying to get himself facing the correct direction. But now it is Subham Chowdhury, 1.5 seconds away from Andre Lloyd. But from a 5 minutes, I was driving, I can tell that the conditions are insane. Yeah, I mean, if I can't see anything, it must be completely and utterly awful out there. And it's only going to get worse from here on out. As Subham Chowdhury takes a position away from Andre Lloyd, who also having a bit of a spin, it looked like, or an off track. Subham Chowdhury now, yellow flag for them. He's off. He's off. That's all I can say. Should be back onto the track now. Yes, he is. But he is alongside with his teammate, Peter Kremers. Might be letting him go. I think he did, or does. As they come into the chicane. And that lets Mark Stux know. Okay, that's weird. Peter Kremers overtaken Mark Stux quite easily into the chicane. And so does Subham Chowdhury. And can we have a look for any drive-throughs? None. There's none right now. But is it Samuel Dunn into the pits? So is Rink Hoekstra. And Andre Lloyd having an off. I just about heard it. I heard his engine switch off. So that is going to give a pretty good sign to Peter Kremers, who's just quite literally tiptoeing around this track, trying to find any sort of grip. Camille Taha now very close to the back of Andre Lloyd. Andre Lloyd has not been having the best race so far. Having a lot of ups and downs. Camille Taha now hoping to get an overtake done into this corner and squirms. Tries to get an overtake, but nothing happening there. As in comes Hamden Putra, and so does Royce Wilson. And Camille Taha hoping to get a switchback on Andre Lloyd. And Peter Kremers also coming into the pits. A lot of people actually coming into the pits. That is super weird. But Camille Taha down the inside into turn 1. And oh, Andrew Lloyd nearly touching the back of Camille Taha as Sohan Chowdhury again spinning. And it's not off tracks actually. It's really weird. It's not drive-throughs that they're getting. It's nothing that they're getting. It's just that they are, I don't know, pitting for some reason so early into the race. It's just been about 15 minutes. Yet still pitting for possibly newer tires or possibly some damage repair. Or maybe trying to go onto the slicks. Who knows? Luke Mason now also coming into pit. It seems to be that these wet tires are not able to run too many laps in this horrendous weather conditions. So a lot of people, I guess, having no grip out there. But Camille Taha right now from 15th to 5th is going to inherit another position from Luke Mason. Actually, no, he won't inherit any position from Luke Mason. You can see there he just about exits the track, exits the pit. And that is 3.6 seconds ahead of Camille Taha. As we now have 12 people, so 3 people retire. Even though, again, there's so many points up for grab, retiring from this race is not the best thing to do as Luke Mason goes off the track, and that gives Camille Taha all the time to gain back and get that overtake on the British driver in the Aston Martin. You can hear the thunder and lightning in the back. It is absolutely horrible, but apparently it is going to start getting less rainy in just about 30 minutes. But I don't think that's going to do much, to be fair, for these drivers. They're already pretty settled into this wet, absolutely treacherous condition. Luke Mason still gaining on Camille Taha. Camille Taha is actually, yeah, I think went off the track, or maybe actually just had a worse exit. But they're going to be going side by side into the uphill section of this track. Believe it or not, there is actually an uphill section. But Luke Mason able to carry more speed than Camille Taha into these couple of corners and able to just put it ahead of the McLaren driver. As we see Camille Taha go off the track again. Given the position to Andre Lloyd. Now that is pretty critical. He's already given one position away. He can't afford to give any more away. And Mockstux now isn't overtaken by Hamden Putra. It is a Porsche to Porsche action. And now Camille Taha going to be going side by side with Andre Lloyd. And that was a very nice and neat overtake around the outside, which leads into the inside to take the position away from Andre Lloyd. But Andre Lloyd is going to come right back at Camille Taha into the uphill section, carrying way more speed than them. But Camille Taha able to respond to that, having a bit more grip, and completely outdoing the likes of Andre Lloyd. Now, as a pretty ill person, I'll probably go and have some lunch, but I'm not going to leave you with no stream, so here is just going to be the autopilot mode, showing you all there is to see. It's actually pretty reliable. Somehow I managed to kill my tires in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are actually happening to them for some reason. A lot of people not able to carry on with their tires, so very weird. Wet tires are not too good. Right, and I am back to what seems to have been a pretty big race in terms of change. It seems like Abe is in the pits, and for a long time at that. Mason is now leading the race. 11 people, so that means 4 people have left. I'm actually really not sure why Abe is in the pits. We can go and ask him. I just wanted to know, because I wasn't here, why are you in the pits for so long, Abe Santama?
My game crashed.
Your game crashed? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is just unlucky. Well, we won't take too much of his time away, but seems like, yeah, that is really unlucky, since now he's 3 laps down on our leader, and he was our leader for the whole race, and still holds the fastest lap of this race. Still flooded, still not getting any drier. And just under 5 minutes now to go off this race. For what seems to be a pretty dominant win by Luke Mason. Well, dominant in the sense that he hasn't made many mistakes and is just carrying on as he was for this whole entire race. And it's going to be a Aston Martin 1-2 in Donington, so that is beautiful to see as an ex-Aston Martin driver. Definitely want to have more scenarios where that is the case. Some Chowdhury still trundling on. And so is Peter Kremers. Mockstux, he is a... Oh, he's only 1 lap behind Abe Santama and only 4 laps behind the leader, because on there, as you can see, it says that he's 16, 17 laps behind the leader. I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah, it seems like a pretty challenging race for the drivers. Not a lot of people finishing today, but a pretty calm race at that. And there is Luke Mason. Good stuff from him today. Absolutely beautiful drive. Obviously very unlucky that Abe's game did crash, but I think you still would have seen Mason up there on the podium, no matter what. Howdy, yeah, Morano. It's been quite a lonely race. Not a lot of things have happened, but it's been one of those races where it seems to us that there's not much happening, but it is absolutely kicking off for the drivers as they try to scramble their way through the track without dying every single lap. I can see that I could have done okay if not for real-life Spinala tragedy. Yeah, well, I hope that there are no casualties at the place where you first responded. That'd be the last thing I want to hear. As Luke Mason just dips his wheels into the grass, and I think this is actually his final lap off this race. And he's just, all seems okay. Well, that's great. Well, great and bad. Obviously, nobody wants to be getting into a car accident. But great that there are no big injuries or casualties. But no matter what has been thrown at Luke Mason with these absolute horrible weather last week, horrible weather this week. Last time out, he got taken out, where he could have definitely had a P2. This time, driving absolutely splendidly around this Donington track. And all you can say is that he most surely deserves this win on Donington. And he takes the checkered flag to take his first win of the season. Behind him is going to be Josh Buckwater taking P2 for ORC, which is going to be an absolute great performance from the American driver behind the wheel of the British car. You can see that gap between Luke Mason and P2 is tremendous. It's so long. But nevertheless, Josh Buckwater comes across the line to take P2 for ORC, and Hampton Putra now also a long way away from P2, over just under 9 seconds away. And he's gonna be taking P3 last race, DNF, because of an internet issue. This time out, going to be finishing the race on the podium. So very good running for the Porsche driver. And he's going to come across the line now to take the final podium positions. And that is absolutely beautiful. That is Josh Buckwater doing some very nice donuts. And Izzat Samil Dunn also joining that party as everybody just throws their car around. And the final people to come across the line will be Felix Plain in 4th and Peter Kremers in 8th, sorry. Yeah, absolutely wild race. So the people who didn't finish: Rink Hoekstra, Royce Wilson, Reginald Duiker, and Patrick Slowick. One person, it was a internet issue, and then the 3 others not able to continue because of, well, whatever reason. So, well, that about wraps up this race. Yeah, it was an interesting that was tricky conditions. Yeah, absolutely. It was not the conditions you would think we would be coming out on today. It was a less of a rain chance, but still, we got an absolute showing of what it can truly be when it is flooded. But that is the middle of the season complete now. Next race is gonna be, I can tell you right now, without looking, gonna be at Paul Ricard next week. And next week we're also gonna be having a transit race at the Seattle street circuit. So stay tuned for that. And the week after, we're gonna be doing a reverse grid race at Silverstone. Now you heard me right. It hasn't been announced yet, but it is gonna be on the 16th of October. Please no rain in France. Well, we'll see what happens there, because there's a lot more runoff and a lot more room for error, as some might say. So we might see a bunch of rain, but hopefully not. But thank you ever so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, it is greatly appreciated, and I hope to see you next week for Paul Ricard, and then for the transit race at Seattle Street Circuit. I hope you have a great rest of your day.